So you're thinking about relocating to Connecticut? Well, first off, welcome. You're in for a ride because Connecticut is not just a place, it's a whole experience. From the coastal charm and scenic landscapes to these picture perfect towns, this place has so much more to offer than most people realize. But let's be real, finding the perfect place in Connecticut isn't a walk in the park. I've been there and I know that every town has its own vibe, its own hidden gems, and yes, its own quirks. Now let's cut to the chase. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the top towns in Connecticut that are perfect for relocators just like you, especially in Fairfield County. We're talking about the best spots for easy New York City commutes, top-notch schools, beautiful beaches, and those neighborhoods with that just right balance between peace and excitement. And trust me, some of these towns just might surprise you. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to share with you insider tips you're not going to get any other place. And this is stuff only locals know. Think tips on the best places to live, where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, and which towns feel like they're straight out of a movie set. I'll also throw in a few of my personal experiences. And here's the kicker. Stay with me to the end because I'm going to reveal a seriously underrated town that just might be Connecticut's best kept secret. I'm talking about a place that has everything you need without the crowds. You won't want to miss it, especially if you're looking for that perfect hidden gem to call home. Ready to explore Connecticut with me? Let's dive in and find your ideal spot in the Nutmeg State. Right, so before we zoom into specific town, let's talk about the big picture of Connecticut. Now, this place has, as a state, it pretty much has everything you want, especially if you're coming from the city and you're just craving a little bit of a change of pace. We're talking about beautiful beaches, the rolling countryside, charming downtowns, and a sense of history that's really just woven and made into and integrated into the culture in Connecticut itself. As you could probably tell, Connecticut is named throughout all the history books. And it is like you're getting the best of both worlds. You're close enough to the city when you want it, but far enough where it makes you feel like you're living in a different world. Now, Connecticut is actually divided by different counties, right? Now, this is Connecticut. For those who don't know, Massachusetts is here, Boston is here, Rhode Island is here, and this is Connecticut right here, okay? Now, Connecticut in itself is divided into different counties. So let's zoom in a little bit and give you an idea of the different counties. Now, this county right here is Fairfield County. This big chunk of county right here is Litchfield County. This is Hartford County, New Haven County, New Haven. This is Middlesex County. This is New London County. This is Windham County, and this is Toland County. Hartford, Litchfield, Fairfield. All right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counties, right? Now, Fairfield County is really the golden spot for anyone looking to relocate because it's a short drive or train ride into New York City, which is a total game changer for anyone that's looking for that quick New York City access. But once you're here, you are hit with an incredible mix of scenic towns, coastal beauty, and that classic New England charm. Now picture this, you got historic homes, local shops, beautiful parks, and streets that look like they were just made for those fall beautiful days. And if you're coming from the big city, here's a tip. Try to find a vibe that fits your personality and the life you're looking for because Connecticut has options. Connecticut has different options for different vibes and different lifestyles throughout different towns. So whether you're looking for that quiet town feel or you're looking for something vibrant that has a lot going on, or just something right in the middle, there's something for everybody. I remember the first time I drove into Greenwich after a long day in New York City. It felt like I literally stepped into a whole different world. It was just more calm, more quiet, more open. And I took a little detour just to explore the area a little bit. And I'm telling you, it felt like a hidden paradise. I knew at that point that, Connecticut was something that I wanted to explore myself. Because, just the way I saw cafes and people walking their dogs, just a different lifestyle, much cleaner than the New York City streets. I knew that it was definitely a state that I definitely wanted to explore. Now, the amazing part about Fairfield County is the fact that every town has a unique character. So some places are perfect if you're a young professional who still want access to the city, while others are perfect for families, great top rated schools, safe neighborhoods, and a real community feel. And there's also towns that feel very rural, like huge, big farm or wooded areas. They're just beautiful for hikers and people that love nature and lakes and all that good stuff. So let's dive into top towns here, and you'll see which one, what each town brings to the table. And who knows, you might just find the town that makes sense for you. Now, when we're in New York City, which is right here, this is Long Island, this is Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Central Park, Times Square. This is Westchester. You'll notice that there's a highway that goes throughout New York, the I-95, and through Connecticut. The train also moves through here like this. So the first city that you actually hit is Greenwich, right here. And it's really right on the border of Connecticut and New York, which makes it a top pick for people who work in the city and want to live somewhere else that still feels like you're away from that daily hustle of the city life. And you're about 45-minute train ride into Manhattan, which is pretty quick by Fairfield County standards. And I've had clients that moved here, especially because they love having that easy access to New York City without having to live in that daily chaotic New York City state of mind. Plus, let's be honest, coming home to Greenwich after a long day in the city just feels like you're just hitting the reset button, right? Now, Greenwich is actually divided into different neighborhoods. Each one has its own character. There's Greenwich proper, which is right by the water and has that classic coastal charm. This is where you're gonna find some incredible mansions and estates, especially along the waterfront, right here. Living here, you're literally steps from Greenwich Avenue, which they call the Rodeo Drive. And it's lined up with high-end boutiques, amazing restaurants, and honestly, some of the best coffee shops ever around. And I gotta tell you, I spent many weekends here strolling down the street, just soaking up that energy. And here's a little insider tip. Head to the top of Greenwich Avenue near Bruce Museum. There's a beautiful little park there where you could just sit, relax, and just people watch at your own pleasure. Let me see if I could point it out for you guys in the map here. Maybe there's some photos. Sure, there's some photos. It's right here, you see by the water. Yeah, I want to show you guys. Look how beautiful it looks here. And let me just show you how the waterfront properties look like. Let me see if we could find something great. Actually, this is really, really cool. So guys, I didn't even plan this, but I want to just give you guys an insight of like what those properties look like. So look, you got some beautiful colonial homes here. You got some office spaces here as well. Look at this, gorgeous Victorian looking properties. You have some of the water here. These properties, this is beautiful. Look at the sidings, just gorgeous traditional New England style homes, right? Let me see if we could dig in a little bit on the other side of town. Let's try right here. This is by the park. So this is a great thing, by the way. I love Google Maps because you could actually explore different areas, but let's see if we could find some homes here. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar homes right by the water and prime real estate. So you kind of get a feel of what kind of colonial, nice, beautiful homes are in this area. Now, Greenwich does come with a big price tag. So if you're looking, for instance, in Greenwich proper, especially by the waterfront, you're going to be looking at homes in like the $3 to $4 million range. And that's honestly in the lower end. These properties right on the water could really go up to $10 million, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Now think of they have private docks, they have like just the most beautiful lawns and the views that just go on forever. But don't worry if that's a little bit out of your price point. In areas like Coles Cobb, let me show you guys right now, and parts of Riverside, you can actually find homes starting at around 1.2 million. This area right here. And for towns like, high-end Greenwich, that's actually a very reasonable pricing, and you're still going to get the perks of living in Connecticut's literally best communities, top-rated schools. The trade-off here is that homes on the lower end might be older and might just need some repairs and updates, but you're still in Greenwich with access to great schools, great parks, and of course that quick New York City commute. And one thing that's really unique about Greenwich is the sense of community, because it's big enough that to have literally all the amenities that you want, but the communities are still close knit. The town hosts all kinds of community events throughout the year, and we're talking about art festivals to farmer markets. And every fall, there's an event called the Greenwich Wine and Food Festival down by the waterfront. Picture this, they got amazing food, top world chefs, wine tasting, live music, literally everything you could think of. And it's a fantastic way to meet people and enjoy the local culture. And it's just a taste of what the life is in Greenwich and why people love to live in that city. I went there a couple years ago, and it was pretty, and it was like one of those perfect fall days, crisp air, good food, and everyone was in such a good mood. It's that kind of thing that just makes you feel like home. And let's be real though, Greenwich though is not for everybody. It's definitely an investment on the high end, and it's the price of that, it's high cost of living there. Now, if you're coming from the city, things might just feel a little bit slower here, like stores, restaurants, and stuff like that, because not everything is open 24/7, like in, for instance, New York City. I remember living in the Upper West Side. One block down the block, I had I think it was a Dwayne Reed or a CVS. If I had a craving or I needed to get something at 3 in the morning, I would just go there with no issue. Now, that's not the case in Connecticut for you New Yorkers. But that's still the beauty here is you could really unplug. That's the beauty about Connecticut. You've got space, you got privacy, and you got that sense of calm that you just don't find in the big city. But for families, Greenwich is like a dream. The schools here are like literally the best in the state, and that's a huge factor for people moving in. You got top-rated public schools, and you also have a ton of private education that you could think of. And there's, so a lot of different excellent schools that are private. And, I've worked with families who come here, especially for the school district. And I'll tell you, it was 100% worth it. Now, in terms of lifestyle in Greenwich, it's all about the outdoors. There are just parks, trails, and of course, let me show you got Top Points Beach, which is a town favorite. Check this out. Isn't it gorgeous? So here's a little tip. If you're a dog person during the winter, this place allows dogs. So you'll see locals out here with their pups all season long. And I remember going there one winter and seeing a whole group of people with their dogs just running around the beach. It was just like a little secret dog, little paradise, and everyone was just having a blast. So if Greenwich is right for you, well, if you're looking for a town that combines luxury, convenience, and that true New England charm, it's going to be very hard to beat this Greenwich in general. Yes, it comes with a big price tag, but it really has the best of both worlds. A touch of the city and a whole lot of charm. But I'm telling you, real estate here is going to continue going up, and it's worth every penny to some buyers. So that's really what I wanted to go over in terms of Greenwich. Now let's move on to the next town, because trust me, Connecticut has more gems just waiting to be explored. Now the next stop is Stamford, which is where Greenwich is right here, and Stamford right there. Just a train stop away from Greenwich, okay? Now let's dive into Stamford. Stamford is one of those places that offers you a little bit of everything, which makes it a very interesting option if you're thinking to relocate to Connecticut. It's got that like mini city vibe with its own downtown, tons of amenities, and a range of housing options. But the best part, you're just a train ride away from Manhattan, making it a prime stop for commuters who just want that balance between city life and suburban comfort. Now, let's start off with downtown Stamford. Let's show you a little bit of what that has to offer. Now, here we go. I mean, just look at this old school style, but in a city sort of feel. It's just so beautiful. I mean, I love it there. The food is fantastic. If you're looking for like a little bit of energy, a little bit of buzz in the air, then downtown has it. This is where you're going to have tons of great restaurants, great bars, great coffee shops, and even rooftop spots where you can grab a drink with a beautiful view. The downtown area, has really developed within the last few years, and it's become such a popular spot for young professionals and families alike. It's got this urban feel, but it still has like buildings like New York City, like the high-rise apartments and condos, but you're in Fairfield County, so everything's a little bit more laid back compared to New York. I know a couple who actually moved to Stamford from Upper West Side. They were looking for something a little bit quieter, but they still wanted that city feel, and Stamford gave them exactly what they wanted. They, by the way, they love to be able to walk to catch a show, watch a movie. Let me show you guys. Let me see if I can find it here. Theater. Actually, so yeah, so this is, people love this theater right here. So check it out. Let me see if I could just actually show you guys how it looks in here. Let's just go to some random street. So look at that. You have literally, it feels like a city, right? Target is right here. Actually, this mall has everything. But you have all these shops here, right? Look at that. High rise there. And then you go in and you see all these cool restaurants. Actually, this one, Barcelona, is a fantastic Spanish restaurant. And they have so much space to sit outside. Look at that, all throughout the block. So you could never not find what you were looking for. And they have a ton of sushi places. I want to show you guys a great bubble tea spot that they actually have. Oh, right here. This spot right here, the whale tea. I think it's the whale tea. Hold up. Right here. Okay. Now let's talk about housing, because Stanford definitely has a wide range of housing options, and which makes it a little bit more appealing for families. If you want that downtown apartment life, or you're looking for something newer in the high-rise buildings with like gym and all those modern amenities, like pool, gym, lounges, those are rents that you could potentially get on the low end, like one bedroom apartment for like $2,000, but it could go up to like $4,000 and everything in between. Depending on the building, of course. So that's relatively very affordable for this sort of everything you get in Stanford. But Stanford doesn't just have the downtown high rises. If you head a little bit deeper, away from the city center, you'll find beautiful single family homes in neighborhoods like Shipping Point, and just in the north side of Stanford. Now, Shipping Point is right on the water, so you're gonna have more homes with beautiful views of this is the area right here. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Look, I'm just going through random streets so you guys can see how it looks like, and look how gorgeous it just like Connecticut looks in general. I mean, look at the landscaping, look at the beautiful styles and a lot of cool colonials. Look at this beautiful colonial home. This one right here actually looks like a Georgian colonial. Look how gorgeous it is. Stunning, right? This is the type of homes you're gonna find here. So when people think of Stanford, they think of those like the center, but this is also what you could get. I mean, look at how great would this be for families that want that space, but also want that sort of close proximity to the city. Look at this gorgeous home. Stunning. One thing I really appreciate about Stanford is really its diversity. You've got people from all backgrounds, and that just brings a lot of character to the town. And the restaurant scene here just reflects that. You'll find everything from Italian to the best sushi spots in Connecticut. There's everything here in the downtown area. Now, there's one place called Tashi in Stanford, and it's known for its sushi, and it's one of the best sushi spots in Connecticut. So that's a little nugget of information I want to share with you guys, for all you sushi lovers out there. Now, for families, Stanford does have a lot of perks. The public systems are well regarded, and there's also a lot of options for private schools. And the town does have a lot of parks and green spaces. One of the cool parks that I want to just share with you guys is Cumming Parks. It was right here. Check this gorgeousness out. I mean, look at so much great space with different activities for the family, and you're not here fighting for this tennis court, as you can see this father maybe with his sons or kids are doing. So there's just, and then you got this area here, the shore. Of course, people love their boats, but this is just to give you an idea, so you could put in have a vision in your mind what kind of life you could live here in Stanford, right? For instance, this park is right by the beach. It has a boardwalk and even the volleyball courts. And on a summer weekend, you'll see just families picnicking, people fishing, and just enjoying the beach. It's that kind of place where you are almost feeling like you're in a mini vacation without ever having to leave the town. Another park that I want to share with you guys, and by the way, all my recommendations, just go there, check it out, and see how you feel, because it's not just about me. I could love a place and show you all great things about it, but it's also the vibe you get when you go over there in person. This park is fantastic as well. Scalzi Park. It has baseball fields, tennis courts, and a skate park. And it's huge. It's a huge park. It has tons of outdoor activities. And I remember once seeing this massive community event happening here. It was this multicultural fair with ton of food, like food trucks, live music, and people just enjoying the day. Now, Stanford has this little community moments that make it feel more than just a city. It's like everyone comes together and starts celebrating here, which is very, very cool to see. Now, let's talk about commuting because for a lot of people, that's the deal breaker. Stanford is the commuter's dream. If you're working in Manhattan, you're literally a train stop away from the Metro North train station that gets you into Grand Central in like 40 to 45 minutes. So that's one of the best conveniences that Stanford has for many people. So you've got frequent service and even express trains during rush hour. So it's convenient, straightforward, and it's a big plus when you're used to that unpredictability of the New York City transit. And some people even take advantage of those Stanford's parking spots because they get to drive from their house to the train station and leave it there. And it's just that simple. Now, let's be real, in traffic in Connecticut can get a little intense, especially during rush hours. So if you're driving, especially on the I-95, if you're driving to the city, this is the I-95. So if you're driving, it could be a little bit of a nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's the trade-off for living in such a popular area and just being close to the city. Now, just plan accordingly, maybe 30 to 45 minutes more time just to make sure you get to where your destination is at if you run into traffic. Or if possible, try to have some sort of hybrid or work remotely a few times a week just to avoid having to deal with the traffic times. Overall, Stanford is an ideal place if you want that urban and suburban mix. It's got that energy of convenience of a small city, but it also has neighborhoods where you can settle down, relax, and feel a little bit like home. And it's a place where you don't have to give up the excitement of the city life, but you have a lot of breathing room, whether you're a young professional or a growing family or even an empty nester. Stanford has a way of accommodating a lot of different lifestyles. So if you're looking for a spot in Connecticut that has it all, accessibility, diversity, nightlife, and a balance of city and suburban vibes, Stanford should definitely be on your list. It's a town that adapts to what you need and brings you that level of convenience that's just hard to find in Stanford County in general. So we're going to continue exploring. Who knows? Stanford might be the one for you. But let's continue to our next town. Now, if you found so far that this video provided you with any insight or any value whatsoever, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out my new Connecticut videos. If you want to go a little bit deeper on a town that I don't mention here, or part of or a neighborhood in general, comment below. I look at those comment guys, so just make sure you comment below and I'll take a look at it. I'll reply to you, or who knows, I might make a video just for you. I'll take a ride through that neighborhood and give you a better insight on what I see. Let's keep moving. So the next stop is Darien. We went to Greenwich, we continued on the train, Stanford, and now we're in Darien. Let's talk about Darien, guys. Darien is one of those classic New England towns that people instantly fall in love with. It really has that picturesque small town feel, but it's packed with just so much charm. It has great schools. It has a great sense of community, and if you're looking for that place that feels very safe, secure for your family, welcoming, and just perfect place for your family, this could be it. Darien is calling, guys. So this is Darien, and before we dive into the specifics and the housing, let's just look at some of these pictures that we have here. Wow, look at this stunning bridge. I love just kind of going random on a street just so you guys could see what the houses are in Darien. So what is this right here? This looks gorgeous. I mean, look at this. What is this? Community Association, Nature Trail, Bird and Nature Trail. You see, guys, that's what I'm talking about. That's why people love Connecticut. And look how gorgeous that looks. Now look at these homes. Stunning, right? Stunning homes. This kind of looks like a contemporary colonial farmhouse style, but look how beautiful it looks. So this is what you get in Connecticut. You just get some amazing places. That's why families love here. Let's start off with the vibe of Darien. Now, as you could probably see, it doesn't have that downtown that Stanford offers, but it does have a downtown. It's just small and very well curated, and it got that timeless charm. It has a ton of boutiques, uh, shops, restaurants, and you'll see the same friendly faces every time you go visit. One of my favorite spots over here is actually the Darien Cheese and Wine Foods. It's one of my favorite places for you cheese lovers, sandwich lovers. This place literally has the best cheese selection, and I remember one afternoon just stopping there to grab something for a picnic, and I ended up chatting with the owner about all the local farms and cheese and where they're getting all these stuff. They're actually getting a lot of this from local farms throughout Connecticut, even Massachusetts. So that's fantastic that the owner was able to share that information with me. And it's just like moments like that that just makes you feel so connected with the neighborhood and the community in Darien. Now let's talk about the housing market, because this town definitely has its appeal, but it's also one of the pricier spots in Fairfield County. Now the average home price in Darien is about $1.2 to $2 million. And for those properties closer to the water or with more land, they could go as high as over $3 million. So if you're looking at Darien, you're investing in not just a home, but a lifestyle. The homes here are very spacious, very well maintained, and many come with that gorgeous New England architecture that's very hard to find anywhere else. Now, if you're thinking about renting, you're definitely gonna find some options downtown. Look, families here just having eating right outside Uncle's Deli. So this is the vibe that you get from there. Just gorgeous, right? Small town feel. Now, if you're looking to rent is usually around $3,000 to $4,500, maybe $5,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Darien still doesn't have a lot of rentals as bigger towns would, but it is really geared towards people looking to buy and just put down roots here. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Now, one of the biggest reasons families love Darien is the schools. The public school system is consistently rated among the top schools in Connecticut. People move here specifically for schools, but which says a lot about the quality of education and the level of involvement in this community. There's this school spirit that's just huge here, and you'll see local sports games, community events, and annual school fundraisers. And I've had the privilege of talking to parents who moved here from other schools alone, and they said that just the schools made it worth it. Now, let's move on to parks and recreation. If you're somebody who loves the outdoors, Darien is full of outdoor activities and green spaces. One of the ones that pops into my mind is Weed Beach in Darien, right here by the water. On a summer afternoon, you'll see families here playing in the sand, people kayaking, and just kids running around and in the water splashing all over the place. So it's definitely something that you would want to check out on the weekend. It has tennis courts, picnic tables, and just playgrounds for a great, great day out. Now, there's also another park that you want to check out, Cherry Lawn Park. It's a smaller park, but it's a local favorite, and it got a little bit of everything from walking trails, gardens, a pond, even a community garden where locals actually rent the plot. People are always out here with their families, just taking pictures, and it just feels like a very Norman Rockwell painting. It's just one of those spots that make you appreciate the slower pace of life in Darien. Now, commuting is a big topic for people moving or considering Darien, especially if you're working in New York City. The Metro North from Darien Station takes about an hour to reach Grand Central. So you're 10 to 15 minutes deeper from Stanford. That's something to note. It is still very convenient. I mean, an hour to the city, Midtown, is very convenient. Now, the train stations themselves are very nice with a lot of parking spaces, so you could literally drive there and park. And the trains are very frequent during rush hours. It's definitely a town that caters to commuters, so you're going to find a lot of professionals who head into the city for work and then come back to this peaceful, quiet lifestyle. Now, one thing that I want to keep you guys in mind about Darien is that it's not that 24/7 kind of place. Unlike Stanford or other bigger, larger towns, things tend to wind down very early in Darien. So if you're used to that CVS being open at 2 a.m., you might just need to forget about that or adjust that or prepare your family for that, because most shops and restaurants close around 9 to 10 p.m. So it's a little quieter, more laid back. kind of town, and that's just part of the appeal. That's what people love here because it's quiet and you get a break from the city life, and it's a place to unwind. It's not a place to party. Now, for community events, Darien does have a few things that really stand out. There's Darien Side Park sales and family fun days in the summer, which is a huge, like, giant block. The local shops put up booths, and there's live music and activities and food, all that good stuff for kids. So it's that kind of event where you'll have the whole town come out, and you could actually vibe with a lot of people in there. There's also the Darien Road Race, which people love. They raise money for local charities, and it's a great way to get involved if you're new to the town. And I've been there to some of those events a few times, and it's just incredible. People are incredibly welcoming, very friendly, and it's that type of place where, you know, you just feel like you belong as soon as you move in. So that pretty much sums up Darien. It's a beautiful upscale town with a real focus on community and family. And yes, it has a higher price tag, but you're getting that small town feel with top-notch schools, beautiful parks, and a safe, welcoming atmosphere. It's a place where people really put down the roots, and, you know, you get to meet your neighbors, which is something really cool. Sometimes in my New York City apartments, I never even knew who the neighbors were. I mean, yeah, you see a few people here and there, but you'll see somebody that's been living in your building for 12 years and you never met them. Now, if that sounds like the lifestyle you're looking for, Darien just might be the place for you. Now, let's keep on going to see what else Connecticut has to offer. Now, before we go to our next town on the list, if you're thinking about making a move to Connecticut and you don't know which town is going to be best for you, and you just feel like exploring a little bit of what other different towns have, make sure you shoot us a text message at 203-665-8071. We are the top-rated relocation team in the state, and for good reason. We've helped out many families find their perfect home in the perfect neighborhood. Now, also remember to stay towards the end of this video where I'm going to reveal the hidden gem in Connecticut. Again, it's a town that's been appreciating in value and the community has been thriving, so you're not going to want to miss that. Next town is New Canaan. All right, so let's talk about New Canaan. New Canaan, Connecticut has that undeniable charm. Gotta be honest. It's one of those places where every corner looks like a straight postcard. If you're looking for that true New England feel, a very tight community and a mix of sophistication, yes, the word sophistication, and a small town warmth, New Canaan might just steal your heart. First, let's get a feel for the vibe a little bit. Now, New Canaan is a little bit further from the city, as you can see. Look, Greenwich, Stamford, Darien, now you're going to New Canaan. So it attracts a lot of people that are looking for more space and more tranquility. It is small, but it's packed with character. The town center is absolutely charming. There's tons of shops, boutique shops, art galleries, and a variety of cafes and restaurants that feel carefully curated. Imagine walking along brick sidewalks surrounded by historic buildings and just popping into unique little shops. It's just the perfect setting. Let me see if I could show you guys what I mean. New Canaan. Let me just show you guys a little bit of what it has to offer here. We're just going to just throw ourselves right in the middle. You already see all the restaurants. Look at the fire department. And this is what it looks like. Look at the town clerk. Very cool. And you have all these shops here. All just gorgeous. It's just very gorgeous feel. Let's talk about, what the big focus here, or what the culture is. New Canada is known for its art and architecture, with a surprising amount of mid-century modern homes just scattered around the town. And there's actually something called the Glass House, designed by famous architect Philip Johnson. It's just one of the, let me see if I can find it, just to show you guys. It's one of the most famous designs. It's a very modern, stunning house. Oh, check this out. Oh, that's the guy right here who designed it. And it's mostly just made out of glass, and it's set in the middle of the woods. So if you're an architecture fan, this might be a place for you to go in and visit. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was standing in the middle of nature just looking at this old glass house, and it felt like a mix of art, nature, and just design blending all together. It's one of those things that makes New Canaan just feel extra special. Now, let's talk about the housing market in New Canaan. Now, this town really leans to upscale side, so homes here are just not going to be cheap. The average home is around $1.5 million, but you'll see plenty of properties that are over $2 million. Now, what you're getting is privacy, space, and just a little bit of piece of that New England history that is almost invaluable. Now, there's a lot of classic colonial homes here dating back to the 18th century, and they're very beautifully maintained. We're talking about big yards, mature trees, and just beautiful architecture. Let me see if I could find a couple of homes for you guys here. I mean, look at this house that's being built. Look at this gorgeous, very modern. Boom, we hit it on the money. That mid-century modern style, which is very, very cool to see. And you got the blend of those historic sort of colonial homes as well. Again, big lots, as you can see. They want to make sure privacy is a thing. It's very, very expensive homes around here. For families, New Canaan is really top notch. It's ranked among the best in the state. And that's really, look at this gorgeous colonial home. And that's really one of the reasons why people just want to move here, because, you know, the classes are smaller in size and you get that real sense of community involvement. And I've met families who just move here just for the schools, and they say it's one of the best decisions they ever made for themselves and their families. There's a lot of support for extracurricular activities, sports, music, art programs, you name it, it has it. Now let's talk about what to do in this town. For a small town, it is surprising that it has a lot of things going on. There's a New Canaan Nature Center, for instance, one thing that pops up that people love to do. Check this out. It has animals, walks, trails. Very, very cool. I went there one spring and I remember walking through the wildflower garden, and it just felt like something straight out of a storybook. The Nature Center also hosts events every year, like maple syrup tapping into the winter and harvest festival in the fall. It's that kind of place where you take your kids out for a day of fun and they just relax and take a stroll and they just get that energy out. It's such a beautiful place. Now, for all you nature lovers, you could also check out this park. It's a local favorite. It's a must visit if you're in town. It's huge. It has hills. It has walking paths. It even has a castle-like mansion that's now used as a town's cultural center. Check this out. Stunning. Just stunning. Look how beautiful that is. So that's a park that people love. Now, commuting from New Canaan is manageable, but it does take a little bit more time. The Metro North train ride from Grand Central takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So it's a little bit longer than Stanford. But, you know, the station is right in the center of town and it's reliable with the schedule, especially during peak hours. So many people who work in the city opt to work remotely or be part-time remotely. But if you don't, then make sure you plan your commute and avoid all the peak hours, which helps balance the distance. And honestly, a lot of people are willing to make that trade-off because of this town's just charm and lifestyle. It's just very, very hard to beat. Now, let's just go over the lifestyle in this town. Now, it's definitely quieter than some other Fairfield County towns, but that's a huge part of the appeal. This is a place where people just come in to slow down, enjoy nature, and get a little bit more involved with community. But don't get me wrong, New Canaan is definitely not sleepy. It's still vibrant and it's has a very high social scene here. And it has a lot of events that bring many, many people together. And the town's holiday stroll in December is a big deal. Tons of lights, tons of music, and tons of local vendors just lining up the streets. So it's really, really cool to see. And if you're a foodie, they have excellent restaurants. Elm is a popular spot. So Elm right here is a popular restaurant. So now, what's the takeaway about New Canaan? It's a place where people really put down their roots. It's not that fast paced. It's not that 24-hour lifestyle, but it's a great quality of life, top schools, and really classic New England beauty. And it's just hard to match this beauty. Yes, it's an investment because it's on the higher price point, but it does feel like a retreat with a community that's engaged, friendly, and just proud of their lives there. So if New Canaan sounds like your kind of place and you might be considering a trip, make sure you hit me up and I'll be more than happy to show you around. Now, let's dive into our next town, which is Norwalk. Right here, Norwalk. So Norwalk is a little bit bigger. If you're looking for a town that has a little bit of everything, this could be on the top of your list. You see how big this is? They have a lot of energy in that city, and it's kind of like a small city or like a quiet suburban vibe. This one kind of has a mix of the both. So let's dive right into it. So what makes Norwalk a little bit different than other Fairfield towns is that it has that cool, again, balance of urban and suburban. The downtown, especially the area code Solno or South Norwalk, feels like a mini city. It's packed with so many restaurants, top mall, and a ton of art galleries and bars and entertainment options. And imagine just being able to walk down the street and you literally have everything from seafood to cafes to music and even museums. It's that kind of energy. Now, speaking of Solno, it's one of my favorite spots, and it actually has the Maritime Aquarium. This place is great for families and anyone that loves, SeaWorld and, that marine sort of life. Look at this. They got everything here. Now, Norwalk has a wide range of housing, but, unlike some of the other Fairfield County towns where the prices could be like straight sky high, you could actually get like a one-bedroom apartment for like $1,800, maybe $2,000. A two-bedroom is closer to $3,000, and there's actually newer buildings that include amenities like gym, rooftop decks, and that sort of stuff. So if you're a young professional looking for something with a good energy and a good vibe, this Solno might be a great spot for you. But Norwalk isn't about just downtown living. If you head towards Silver Line, you're going to find a lot of single-family homes with a little bit more space. For instance, this town almost feels like it has a ton of historic homes. It has, it's kind of quiet. It even has an old grist mill that's just now an art gallery, which is really cool. And the homes are just a mix of colonial style homes and charming cottages. And you'll find some properties that really start like as low as $600,000 and going up, depending on the size, depending on the location and the block. But it's one of those neighborhoods that make you feel like you're stepping back in time with a real focus on community and history. So if you're a beach lover, there's also a coastline here, which is cool. The farther we go in or the higher we go, the more north we go, the less beach you're going to find. But check this out. Cow Pasture Beach. Just absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful spot to spend the summer day in the beach, just picnicking, renting kayaks, that sort of stuff. Now, Norwalk really has a strong community as well, as you'll see throughout these conversations that Connecticut in general has a huge community. That's really why people move to Connecticut. But one thing that's really, really cool is the Norwalk Oyster Festival. It's a huge deal. It's 3 days of music, rides, food, local vendors, and ton of fresh seafood. I went there last year, and the atmosphere was just completely incredible. You got people from all over the world coming in to celebrate, eat, and enjoy some good music. And it's one of those events that really captures the spirit of the town. And also one thing about Norwalk is that it's a little bit more laid back compared to some of the nearby upscale towns like Darien or New Canaan. It's not as polished, but that's also part of the charm. It has a lot of character, and you'll find people there from all walks of life that gives that unique sort of vibe. People in Norwalk are very friendly, laid back, and open, and it's just a gorgeous town. Now, for families, Norwalk offers solid schools. It's with a mix of public and private options. The public schools are known for being diverse and having a lot of support for different for a lot of extracurricular activities for kids. So if you're looking for public private education, there's Norwalk Catholic Academy and some other cool private schools nearby. Now, another big plus about Norwalk is the incredibly convenient commuting that it offers. The Metro North train gets you to Grand Central Manhattan in about an hour. There are multiple stations, including one in East Norwalk and one in South Norwalk. Also, the I-95 right here runs through Norwalk, giving you, so if you're driving and you're probably looking at like 50 to 60 minute commute, depending on the traffic. Now, let's be honest, traffic can get a little congested on the I-95, I'm not gonna lie, especially during rush hours, guys. So if you could try to avoid that a little bit, it'll be great. And it's just part of like commuting from Fairfield County. A lot of people here, commute to work, but some people are taking advantage of that remote work as well. Now, Norwalk's food scene is another highlight. If you like seafood, you're gonna love it over here because that's what they specialize in. Just to give point to one quick local favorite, the Blue Cactus Grill. People love this one for burgers and sandwiches, and just people love that grill. Anyways, what's the bottom line about Norwalk? This town has a lot of heart. It's got that coastal New England charm without the super high price tag that you're gonna find in Greenwich or Darien. And you could choose to live down like a downtown lifestyle, like in Sono, or a more suburban feel in neighborhoods like Cranberry, or even a little bit of history in Silvermine. And no matter where you are, you're going to be close to beaches, parks, and that strong sense of community. So if you're looking for a place with diversity, convenience, and personality, Norwalk should definitely be one of on your list. But we're going to keep pushing to the next town. Next one on the list is Westport. Let me point out exactly where it's at. So again, we went through here, Norwalk, New Canaan, and now we're in Westport. By the way, guys, I know I'm repeating myself. There's a lot of things that I say all the time that sound like repetition, like, oh, great community, blah, blah, blah. I want to make sure that you guys fully understand exactly what I mean by that. 100% you cannot go wrong with these towns. These towns are actually very sought after. You'll notice that by the prices of the average sales price of a home over there. These homes are fantastic for families. Communities are fantastic. Events are great. This is why people want to move to Connecticut. Again, Connecticut is very broad, has different varieties for everybody out there. But this is what people love about Connecticut. So you cannot, I repeat, you cannot go wrong with these. All right, fantastic. All right, so let's zoom in. Westport. Now, Westport is one of those towns that feel like a blend of classic New England charm and a touch of upscale city sophistication. It's beautiful, it's vibrant, and it has this amazing coastal energy. Why? Because you're right here by the coast, and it really stands out in with the surrounding towns in Fairfield County. Again, so if you're thinking about relocating to Connecticut and want a place that offers both a lively art scene and a peaceful suburban living, Westport might be worth a look. Now, let's start off with the vibe. What is the vibe of Westport? Let me see if I could show you guys some photos of it. Now, Westport does have a little bit of everything. It has obviously the beaches because it's all through here. And it has a great downtown, very lively, energetic, and it has a strong sense of community. Again, similar traits from other towns. However, Westport is known as the artsy town with a lot of creative energy. So you got writers, artists, performers, all these people call this their home. And I'm going to give you one nugget of information I've learned as well. Westport actually has one of the top average income, top household family income average. So Westport has literally one of the tops in the state of Connecticut. So that just gives you a little idea of the cost of living when it comes to Westport. So if you're the kind of person who loves a town with a creative spirit, Westport is definitely something you could take a look, worth a look. One of the must-visit spots in Westport is the Country Playhouse. Very popular. It's essentially a historic theater that's been around since the 1930s, and it's still one of the top cultural spots in the area. They put on professional theater productions, such as the quality is fantastic, the entertainment is great. Let me show you guys what it looks like. If you want a taste of historic Connecticut, this is it. So they put on a ton of shows. Very cool. I remember seeing a play there one summer and just being completely blown away. It's Broadway level quality without the New York City crowds. And it just captured that vibe, that artsy vibe that Westport is all about. Now let's talk about housing. And Westport is definitely pricier. One of the most pricier towns in Fairfield County. The average home price is around $1.1 to $2 million, especially for single family homes with more space. And if you want to be closer to the water, you're looking at $3 to $4 million. right? So, but you get the, let me see if I could zoom in randomly and see if we could get a glimpse of the houses in Westport. Oh, this is fantastic, actually. I mean, look at this beautiful fence work. And then, oh, wow, look at this. Look, we just went in randomly and you see these gorgeous, gorgeous homes. Look at that. This is kind of like a Georgian colonial home. Look at that. Those windows. Look at that charm. I like, holy moly. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my Lord. And we look at right across the street. Holy. Look at that gorgeous house. I mean, you're talking about $2-3 million houses here. This is what that could get you. You're not on the water, but look, this guy has like an in-law or a barn here. It has all that space here. The guy's just cruising here, fixing, shirtless, fixing his property here. And look how gorgeous everything looks like. And this is the type of properties you're going to be seeing all across Westport. Can we get in that? This is a private street, so we can't even go in there. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, private driveway. Let's see if we go in a little bit more and see another house. I mean, again, beautiful houses. Great style, great size. This is the type of homes you're going to get there. But again, you're looking at multi-million-dollar properties. On the low end, you're talking about 1.5 on the low end. But most likely, it's going to be a little bit higher than that. And they have all this space. Look at all that. Look at this beautiful house. And it has all this space. I mean, this is what you're getting in Westport, guys. Now, if you're looking for a starter home, something that's a little bit more affordable, something smaller, like even a condo, then you could probably get something around $700,000 to $900,000, meaning slightly a hairline under $1 million. But they're not gonna have all the bells and whistles. But you're still in Westport, which is you'll have incredible access to the city, the town's incredible amenities, top-rated schools, and essentially fantastic quality of life. Now, speaking of quality of life, let's talk about the beach. Let's go to Combo Beach in Westport. People love this beach. And you should. I was there one year at the 4th of July. The most beautiful view with the most beautiful fireworks. You see people there grilling, kids playing on the sand, picnics, sunsets, all that good stuff. The Combo Beach really gives you that classic laid back summer vibe that's really hard to find pretty much anywhere else. Let's see if I could show you guys some photos. I mean, look at these photos. Gorgeous. You got the boat, you got the shore. What did I tell you guys? The fireworks. If you want to go somewhere spectacular for fireworks, this is it. But again, everything is very pricey. The country clubs, golf courts, everything is here in this town. You will not regret living in this town. Look at that. But, oh man, this is exactly how it looked like. Just completely gorgeous. Now, Westport's downtown is another big draw. It has tons of shopping. Let me show you guys how it looks like. First of all, it's gorgeous in general, but it has tons of shopping centers. Let's go in here. Tons of restaurants and great restaurants. There's a restaurant called The Welk, and it's known for its seafood, and so check it out. If you guys have been in one of these restaurants, just comment below. Would love to hear some feedback. But anyways, want to show you guys the vibe. So this is the streets. Obviously, you could come in, walk around, go shopping. Very safe. Families love it. Look at this, gorgeous, gorgeous, very beautiful place. For those that want to commute, Westport does have a great setup. It has 2 Metro North train stations, the one in Westport and one in Green Farms. And they're going to get you into Grand Central in just a little bit over an hour. So the commute is very manageable. especially if you're going into the city a few times a week. Plus, the train ride is pretty scenic. You have gorgeous views, so you're gonna have a beautiful ride all the way down to the city. Now, if you're looking for a good balance between being close to New York City but wanting a peaceful home base, Westport does fit that bill. Now, Westport also does have amazing community events that bring a lot of people together. One of the highlights is Westport Fine Arts Festival in the summer. Let me see if I could show you guys how that looks like. Oh, fantastic. So they actually have a website. Yeah, you have local vendors, you have a ton of food, you have so many activities to do. It's just never ending. So the community is fantastic here. Plus, so many great connections that you'll find in a place like this. Another thing that people love about Westport is obviously the parks and the green spaces. Winslow Park is one of the favorites by many locals. Again, same thing, ton of trails, doggy parks, hiking, barns, animals, very safe area. People love it. It's one of those places where you can just go in, take a walk, clear your mind, and appreciate all the natural beauty that's around you. So now, what's the catch with Westport? Well, it's not the most budget-friendly option, that's for sure. So the cost of living in Westport is extremely high, and the housing market is incredibly competitive. If you're looking for something more affordable, Westport is definitely going to be a challenge. But for those that can make it work, the lifestyle is really hard to beat. So Westport is on top of the list for those that money is no issue. And you're really getting the best of both worlds, a vibrant artsy town with a strong community and access to beach, top schools, and a downtown that pretty much is top notch. Now, if that sounds like your kind of place, it's definitely worth a visit. We'll keep exploring Connecticut so you can see other towns. But if you guys have any questions on Westport, make sure you comment below. Now, we're going to go in just a tiny deeper. Let me show you guys where we're going to go next. So we're going to jump to Richfield. Now, Richfield, actually, I don't, especially when you're not living in Connecticut, I don't feel like a lot of people actually know what Richfield is. But when you're in Connecticut, you know, because it has so many great perks, such a great town. So we kind of have been going like this. Well, actually like this, and we're just here in Westport. Now we're gonna jump into right here, Richfield. That's our next destination. So you could see right here on the New York and Connecticut border. It's one of those towns that make you feel like the perfect New England escape. It's charming, it's historic, and it's surrounded by beautiful rolling hills and scenic landscapes. So if you're looking for a place with a strong sense of community and arts, this one also has a very artsy vibe. And it's a quieter lifestyle, though, if you were to compare it to Westport. Ridgefield should definitely be on your radar. First off, let's just get a feel for its vibe. Now, the town is all about that classic New England. Let me show you guys exactly how the downtown looks like. It's really beautiful. Well, the main street. Look at this. Look at this. The way, just the architecture of the buildings. And then you eat outside. Look at this clock. Look at this space outside. People love Main Street in Richfield, by the way. It's gorgeous. There's a lot of things to do. Look at this. People are just having events, packing. This is Town Hall. People love it. People that live in Richfield are very prideful of their town. And it's a relatively smaller town. Like, it's not a huge town, but people love it. Now, it's really the kind of place where everybody kind of knows each other. Everybody waves at each other, even if you don't know them. And you'll actually see in this main street a lot of boutiques and local shops, family-run businesses, family-run restaurants, with a real focus on supporting the community. That's what it is. So it's not that fast-paced town, but that's what makes it very special. People come here to slow down and enjoy life and connect with nature. Now, let's talk about the downtown area. So again, this is the downtown area. The main street is super gorgeous. Again, charming storefronts, museums, theater, exhibitions, art museums, contemporary art museums, clothing, whatever you want, it's got them. So if you want to check out the vibe and get a feel for Ridgefield, you definitely should check out this center. And I actually want to show you guys, want to get out of Main Street a little bit and show you guys what kind of houses there are, because there's some houses right off, just a little bit. Actually, this is the school, the park, but just let me show you guys. I want to show you guys some houses here. Maybe here. I want you guys to see. No, this is more like a highway. The kind of houses that you could potentially get over here. Yeah, there we go. This is interesting. So again, you sort of like that Westport vibe, but wow, look how gorgeous this is. Big estate, nice private. Look at that big house. Stuff like this. Again, there's different types of options for everybody out there. Look at this house with the wraparound, gorgeous. It starts off at around $800,000. To be honest with you, for something that's move-in ready, you could probably find something for a little bit less, 700, if it's very kind of like a small ranch sort of style. But most likely, if you're looking for like a good 3 to 4 bedroom house, it's gonna start around $800,000, and it's probably gonna average up to like $1.2 million, depending on the neighborhood and depending on the size and the condition of the property. You'll find everything from classic colonials to larger properties with land, which obviously it's a huge draw for families that are looking for that more space so they could put in a pool or playground. This is a gorgeous example of a classic colonial in Connecticut. Now, you'll get tons of different architecture styles here. That's why I want to kind of show you guys. Some are contemporary in Ridgefield, but a lot of colonials. Look at this. Very, very beautiful places. And look, if you're looking for a larger property, neighborhoods like Twin Ridge or West Mountain Estates have beautiful homes, and these neighborhoods offer a lot of privacy, a lot of space. So that's why people love it. Now, if you're in a tighter budget, you could probably find a small single family home or a townhouse at around $600,000 to $700,000. But people love Ridgefield. They don't sell very often. That means less inventory out there. That means more competition for buyers. So keep that in mind. People that buy a property here most likely are going to keep it for a very, very long time. Now let's talk about schools, because Connecticut, Ridgefield's educational system is top notch. The public schools consistently rank among the best in the state. And as we all know, Connecticut has very top rated schools compared to other states. So this one's definitely on the top of the state. And, I've asked many families that I've helped relocate to Ridgefield, what was their determining factor of moving in besides the house. And they said it was mostly the schools, just to let you guys know. And look at this house. Gorgeous, right? Gorgeous areas. So if you are an outdoor enthusiast, there's so many things that this town offers you as well. One of there's a Pond State Park that I want to show you. Let me see if I could show up. Oh, look how gorgeous this is. Yep. Hiking trails. So if you were to make one day and just want to feel out Ridgefield, I recommend you go to this Pond Park, and just hike with your dog, or just take a look around. And also right after that, go downtown and you get a very good feel of the place. Another spot that's worth mentioning is one of the historic sites, Weir Farm National Historic Site. This is actually a national park, and it's former artist residence. It's a former artist residence that turned into a state park. And again, you start getting that feel of the artsy vibe that Ridgefield has to offer. Look, check that out. That's just part of the historical park. Now let's talk about commuting. Now, Ridgefield, as you guys have seen, it's a little bit deeper from New York City compared to these towns over here at the coast. So now we're here, and this is where we were before. So the closest Metro North station is in Branchville, which is about a 10-minute drive from Ridgefield Center. From there, you're roughly looking at about 1 hour and a half commute to Grand Central. So many people who live in Ridgefield and work in the city do a hybrid work kind of setup, because commuting every day could be a pain in the butt, but commuting a couple times a day should be all right. Now, one thing to keep in mind about Ridgefield is that it's not a 24/7 kind of town. Again, you're deeper. Things probably close around 9, 10-ish. So things, in the evenings, things wind down and you won't get a lot of late night options like you would in the city. But that's part of the charm. People come here to enjoy the quality of life, the quiet, the beauty, and the slower pace. It's a place to unwind, connect with nature, and just enjoy the simple pleasures of life. So what is the bottom line with Ridgefield? Well, this town definitely offers a high quality of life, strong community values, and a beautiful environment. It got top-rated schools, a vibrant art scene, and plenty of natural beauty. It's perfect for those looking to put down roots and stay there for many years to come. If Ridgefield sounds like something that makes sense for you and your family, let me know. I'll send you over some homes, see what makes sense. And the next town that we're going to go to, I was actually there the other last weekend. They have so many family-friendly entertainment options. And I am talking about Wilton. Wilton is a beautiful town that strikes the perfect balance between rural charms and modern convenience. And it is known for being very beautiful, having great sceneries, and it's a place that's just chill, calm, and again, tons of park. Throughout here you get a lot of things, but the cool thing about Wilton is the fact that it also feels like a little mini city-ish, where you have a lot of different things. The downtown is fantastic. It has so many restaurants. It has so many family-friendly activities. And the houses are very beautiful. So let me see if I could show you guys the downtown area. So one thing that I do want to point out is it does have a lot of country clubs. Where are we? It has a lot of country clubs, a lot of restaurants, and it's actually cool where you could actually walk through many places in Wilton. Let me show you guys. And then Georgetown is actually a great place where people love it. It just has a cool vibe, a lot of restaurants, very cool. But downtown Wilton, it is small. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. But it has a lot of charm into it. Oh, right. So right here, actually, there's a subway here. There's a library here. Very beautiful library. I want to see if I could show you guys what it looks like. Look. And then actually, let me show you guys. There's a sweet, look how beautiful this library looks like. And there's a sweet spot right here on the back. What is this, Subway? On the back of Subway. Very family friendly. I'm trying to remember the name. Let me see if I can remember it. Oh, right here, Tootsie Torthy Cafe and Play. So I have a toddler. So I just take my toddler over here and look at this. They just run around and play through this thing. Look how cool the vibe is. Just if you're ever in Wilton, and you have a toddler, this is such a fantastic place to take them. And the cool part about this is that you could actually be drinking coffee while a kid's playing, which is fantastic. And it's a big place. It's like a mini version of the town, so people could play doctor, people could play like vet. The kids play vet. They jump into this whatever this is called. Look how cool this is. The market, the vet, the firefighter station. Kids love that. Now, for housing, Wilton does have a lot of options. The average home in Wilton is around $900,000 for something that's turnkey. So the average is around 900 to 1.3 million dollars. Many homes here are, have large lots. It's a little bit more wooded than what you see over here on the coastal side. So it is more wooded in this area, but people love it. I love it. I love the privacy and how the leaves change. So I love the wooded areas. You're gonna find a lot of colonials, some mid-century modern homes, and a lot of newer builds as well. There are a lot of developers have been doing a lot of work in this area. So Wilton is ideal if you want that space, you want that family-friendly home just surrounded by nature. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, you can find smaller properties and condominiums that start around $500 to $600,000. Again, these are limited because Wilton doesn't have the majority of inventory. But if you're looking for that, if you want that Wilton suburban lifestyle with a little bit of mix of that charm and practicality. Many homes this might be it. Many homes have huge yards. Also, the other cool thing that I want to mention about Wilton is that it's very close to the highway that goes down to the city. So you could grab the highway right here or go down here and then take the I-95 to the city. So literally Wilton is literally through a highway here. So that's just something I want to mention. Whether you're going to the city or you're going to explore other towns, it's a very Wilton seems like a very central area for other the towns throughout Connecticut. Now, in terms of school, Wilton does rate highly. The school consistently ranks among the top in Connecticut, and it's one of the reasons a lot of families like to move here. The community is very involved. There's a lot of pride in the educational system and student activities and achievements in general. The school facilities are mostly modern. There's been a huge overhaul in the recent years. There's a lot of cool programs here, everything from arts, sports, even STEM programs for kids. So if you want your kid to have variety, they have a fantastic educational system here. For outdoor lovers, Wilton is like a dream come true. The town has a number of parks and nature reserves that are perfect, again, for hiking, biking, and just enjoying the great outdoors. One of the locals' favorite spot is called Merwing Meadow Park. Let me show you guys there. It's a local gem. It has a small pond, a small river, tons of picnic areas, playgrounds. And I just remember summer afternoon, just watching my daughter play with her friends here. Look how gorgeous it looks. And it's just one of those simple moments where you get to enjoy and be present with your family. Look at that. Very, very gorgeous. Another great spot is the River Trail. Let me show you guys that. And, there's a lot of actual bike routes here, hiking trails here. And you see a lot of people just walking their dogs, running, or even bird watching. So I've done this trail a few times, and it's just very, very beautiful. Great way to reset your body, reconnect with nature, and in a fun way, and still be able to bring your family along. Now, when it comes to community events, Wilton does a bunch of community events that bring everybody together. One of the highlights is the Wilton Street Fair and Sidewalk Sale. It happens every summer, and essentially local businesses set up shop outside and just get to not only build their business, put the word out there, but the community comes together. And these are the things that you'll find throughout Connecticut that people just enjoy and it just brings a lot of joy to friends, community members, and you get to meet all your fellow neighbors. Now, if you're commuting to New York City, Wilton is a little bit more of a commitment, but it is manageable. The town is close to the the Metro North. However, it's gonna take you about an hour and 20 minutes if you take the Metro North to Grand Central Station. For many people, that route is worth it because of the quality of life the family has. And a lot of residents do work part time, if they have that commute. Commute part time. The good news is that the train station has parking, so you don't have to worry about finding a spot when you're if you're commuting on a daily basis. Now, Wilton does have a bit of a food scene with a lot of local spots. One of my favorites is Little Pub, which is very known to the people in Wilton. It has that classic pub feel. Check this out. And it's one of those places where you can have a casual dinner with friends and family, and the food is great, the vibe is great, and the service is great, and you could end up staying there for hours just talking and relaxing. Another popular spot is RM's Diner, which is a local favorite. I've been there a few times. Great food, people locals love it, and it's one of those places where like you feel like there's a lot of regulars that come in. Right, it's just letting you guys know a few things that I've had the pleasure to check out. Now, what's the takeaway of Wilton? It's a town that offers again the best of both worlds: natural beauty and community. It's a place where people go in and settle down, raise a family, and just enjoy a peaceful rural setting with plenty of outdoor activities. While it is a little bit farther from New York City, the quality of life here is hard to beat, and the schools, the safety, and community vibe just make it a fantastic place to call home. If Wilton sounds like like it could be a good fit for you and your family, go and check it out yourself. Go by through the downtown. Go take if you have a toddler, take them to that place. I recommend it. Have coffee there, have lunch there, and explore it yourself and see what how you feel about the vibe. Now, the next one that I'm gonna be talking, and again, I'm gonna repeat myself. You cannot go wrong with any of these towns. It's more of how you feel, what kind of life you want for you and your family, the vibe, what kind of vibe you want, right? Now we're gonna go back south a little bit. So our next stop, we went like this. We went up a little bit. Now we're gonna go here to Fairfield. Now let's dive in. Now Fairfield is a fantastic town. It's one of the most popular spots in Fairfield County for pretty much good reason. It's a place that has that coastal charm because it's right here on the water, but it also has that vibrant downtown and a strong sense of community. And it's also incredibly family friendly. So if you're looking for a town that you could put down roots, this may be it. First off, the vibe in Fairfield is warm and welcoming. It's a town that really values community, and you could feel it as soon as you arrive. The residents are friendly. There's always something going on, and it's a good small town charm mixed with a little bit of suburban energy. And Fairfield does feel a little bit active without feeling too much is going on. And there's a real pride with the people that live in this town. Let's talk about downtown. I want to start off showing you guys downtown. Because it's one of the places that people really, really, really love. Just because all the shops and everything that it has to offer, I want to see if I can find some spots and show you guys. So again, over here you have the coast. This is Fairfield. You actually have Sacred Heart University as well, all the way here on top. But I want to show you guys the theater. Let me see if we can find that. As you can see, there's a lot of performing studios here. again, like you can't go wrong with Fairfield County. It just has a lot going on. For bars, restaurants, dining, there's tons of options here. And one of the best spots, or one of the local favorite that I haven't been had the pleasure to go there yet, but I've been told that it's a fantastic spot, is Colony Grill. Um, and they're famous for their pizza, and it's a local favorite. I'm gonna definitely go in and check it out soon. So, and another one that people rave about is Barcelona Wine Bar. So let's see if we could check it out. Great reviews, great food. So I know, especially with people coming from New York City, you feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit the same type of food as I love. But look, let's be honest. I'm showing you guys a lot of places here where you could definitely make up for it. So I want to make sure that you guys know that you have options when you move here. Now let's talk about housing. Now, housing in Fairfield, the medium home price is around $800,000. You do have a wide variety of options here. So for those that want to be next to the water, you're looking at the prices being a little bit higher. So you're talking about $1 million plus, especially if you have direct beach access. But if you're looking for like a single family house with a nice size lot in a great neighborhood, anywhere between 800 to $1 million should cover that bill. But if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, or like a really starter house, then you could potentially get something around $500 to $700,000 range. But again, people love Fairfield. You can't go wrong with the different neighborhoods in Fairfield. The schools are highly rated, consistently performing well with a strong focus in academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. So there's a lot of community support for schools here, and you'll find that parents are very involved. If that's something that makes sense for you, this could be the town for you. Excellent facilities and programs, and there's just a real commitment to providing a well-rounded education for the kids. So for families, the quality of school if it's a major factor for you, then that might be a reason you choose Fairfield. Now, for outdoor enthusiasts, Fairfield does have a lot to offer, especially with beaches. Jennings Beach is fantastic. It's one of the most popular places around here. Gorgeous. You get to park right next door. It's not over. It's not like going to some of the beaches in New York. For instance, this beach has right here food, and people love it. People go over there and have a blast, have a good time. This is a perfect photo of what it looks like during the summer. Another spot that is fantastic is the lake. This lake right here, it has tons of hiking trails, a dog park, and even a swimming area for kids. So definitely something that you will like. Oh, look at this. This is fantastic. I took my dog there one time. I haven't been there in a long time, but now that I'm looking at it, definitely want to go back there. Let me see. Look, so you could actually take your dog swimming there. Isn't that cool? Now, for culture and history lovers, Fairfield does have a lot of unique spots. It has museums like the Fairfield Museum and the Historical Center. Let me see. Fairfield Museum and Historical Center. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. So this is definitely something that you will want to check out. Let me see if I could have some photos here. Tons of activities for kids. Such a day of fun. And it's just very impressive. It's a great day to spend the time with the kids. So you'll find a lot of museums and stuff like that in Fairfield. Now the commuting is also easy, which is a good perk of living in Fairfield because you're all the way in the south here. So let me just show you guys where you're at. So you're here, Fairfield, and the I-95 is literally right here that goes down through here. To get to the city by driving by the train, it's gonna take you about an hour and 15 minutes, so it's a manageable commute. And driving is probably gonna take you an hour and a half, or depending on traffic, right? Many people who live here and work in the city, love coming home to Fairfield because of its peaceful vibe. Now, Fairfield also has a packed events calendar throughout the year. Throughout the year, summer, fall, winter, it doesn't matter. So that's one of the highlights of the Fairfield sidewalk sale and street fair in the summer. A ton of local businesses just set up shop. And yeah, so it's a great way to support and be able to meet your neighbors, right? Now, what's the catch with Fairfield? Well, like many other popular towns, the cost of living is going to be a little high. Housing could be a little competitive. Because it's popular, it means that homes that hit the market do go relatively quickly, especially if it's in turnkey conditions, especially in the lower beach areas as well. So while there's a lot of amenities in this town, it could get very busy during peak seasons because you see a lot of people here that want to go to the beach, come down here. But it does have a strong community vibe, and there's just always plenty of things to do for the family. Now, what's the bottom line with Fairfield? This town obviously has something that many people are attracted to, from beaches, parks, downtown, and excellent schools. So it's fantastic. Overall, it's a beautiful life to live if you feel like this meets your criteria. Before we move on to the next, I do want to see if I could go in and maybe show you some homes. Look at that. I mean, check this out. You have enough land to be able to put a horse. But again, this isn't every property. But I mean, look at this. Look at this gorgeous lot. Huge lot. Has a horse. Has a playground for the kids. I mean, this is what you're gonna get in Fairfield. Look at this big property. Look at this. Oh my lord, this is gorgeous. Let me see this. 120 Woodhouse Road. So just for laughs and giggles, let's see how much that property is worth. So this property right there is worth about, well, it sold 2014 for 1.3 million. Today's estimated value is 1.7. Just to give you guys an idea. And this is what it looks like. So yes, some homes like this are definitely going to be pricey, but it's definitely worth the investment for somebody that is considering that lifestyle. Again, you're buying the community and the easy commute to the city as well. Now let's keep on moving. The next town that we're going to dive into is a little bit more affordable. It's a little bit deeper, but it's still very close to the New York border. So let's dive into it. So far we've gone like this, like this, like this, and now we're gonna go to Danbury, and essentially the greater Danbury area, which is right here, Connecticut. Now, one thing that I want to show you guys is that Brewster's right here. So meaning this is the New York border right there. So you're literally on the border of New York. There's the I-84 that turns to the 684 that goes all the way down to Westchester and New York City. Now, Danbury is a vibrant town that has so much to offer. Very diverse community with a lot of beautiful natural surroundings and a lively downtown. It's one of those towns that make you feel like a little city of it. It feels like a little city of its own, but the charm and the friendliness you'll expect from a small town in Connecticut. Now let's start off with the overall vibe. Let's see if I can show you some photos here. Oh, look fantastic. So the overall vibe it's pretty much a blend of urban convenience and natural beauty. It's a bigger town than most of its neighbors, so there's always something going on. And you're going to see a mix of families, young professionals, and longtime residents who bring a lot of character to the community. However, within the last few years, especially after COVID, there's been an influx of a lot of New Yorkers that have come to the greater Danbury area. Now, people here are friendly, they're down to earth, and it's very diverse, and that's one of the things that I love the most, because I could literally go to a Latin American a restaurant and it tastes like if you are in Peru or South America. I have one of my top restaurants in here. And again, people love this area of Connecticut, and you see a lot of, again, very diverse, a lot of different communities in here. A lot of cultures. Now, let's go to downtown Danbury. Tons of restaurants, some you don't even know they're there. Yesterday, I'm sorry, not yesterday. Last week, I found a restaurant I never even knew existed, and it was one. It was a Colombian restaurant, and it was fantastic. Very, very authentic. Let me see if I could show you guys. Colombian restaurant, Danbury. Oh, this one. Yeah, so this is downtown, by the way. So let me show you guys first how downtown looks like. Yeah, perfect. This is downtown. Now, Danbury is definitely more affordable than some of the other properties we have been, some of the other towns we have been seeing. It's still up and coming, so it hasn't fully reached its peak potential, in my opinion. There's a lot of space here, even though the properties have appreciated tremendously within the last 10 years. There's still a lot of room to grow. Now, let me show you guys the restaurant that I'm talking about that I had the pleasure of eating the other day. I asked somebody to help me find Colombian food, and they recommended this place. So it was my first time going there. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Let's go back here. Okay. So, I mean, it's literally there. This is it. The vibe, by the way, guys, if you want to try, I've been in Colombia many, many times. If you want some authentic tasting Colombian food, this is the spot. Look at this. The vibe is fantastic. And this is just one of the things that show the culture of the greater, well, Danbury. And also, by the way, this restaurant right here is right, literally a minute down the road, down the block. Empire of the Incas has one of the best cuisines ever. This is how it looks like inside. And this is, again, you do have a growing land community in this town, but it's worth coming and checking out. Okay, there's also theater here, a music center here. What else? Community college. There's just a lot going on here. Now, one of the big draws to Danbury is that it is, again, a little bit more affordable than the other towns that we discussed. The median home price in Danbury is around $400,000 to $500,000, which obviously is much lower than the other Fairfield towns that we just went over. But you can find a wide range of housing options here, from single-family homes to condos, townhouse, and apartments. Now, the neighborhoods vary quite a bit, so whether you're looking for a quiet residential street or something closer to downtown, there's something for everybody. If you're looking for more space, you're going to have to go a little bit further from downtown. But, you know, the privacy and the yard and everything is there. And also, you have one of the biggest, one of the best lakes here, Candlewood Lakes in Danbury. So what we're going to do is, this is, by the way, one of its gems in Danbury. Candlewood Lakes is the largest lake in Connecticut, and it's absolutely stunning. In the summer, it's so nice to go boating, fishing, and even a little bit of swimming. And the lakefront properties are just unreal. Let me see if I could show you guys some lakefront properties here. Oh, Great Plain Road, great houses here. It's close to a lake, but let me just show you guys what you could get, how it feels like over here in Connecticut and Danbury. So check this house over here. Now, again, this is a little bit farther from the center, so I want to be clear with that. Let me see here. In Connecticut and Danbury, you'll be pretty much close to everything within a 10 to 15 minute radius. You have one of the best malls I've seen, which is Fair Mall. Let me show you guys. Huge mall. Everything from Target, Barnes & Noble, everything is there. Very, very beautiful mall. Definitely worth checking out. And again, Candlewood Lake is probably the best Let me see if I could get a couple photos of Candlewood Lake for you guys. I remember spending a weekend there just relaxing by the water, and it's just a little bit a slice of paradise. Very affordable if you want to rent a boat as well, and there's a shore and a beach here as well. So it's just it's just gorgeous, and you can see a little bit of the what is it, the lake houses around there, or you get a little better feel of what kind of housing. And again, those are, you could probably find those properties for $2, $3, $4 million. For outdoor lovers, Danbury has so many parks and trails. Terry Wheel Park is one of a local favorite. Let me show you guys how it looks like. The cool thing about this park is, yeah, look at this old castle-looking homes. Again, for nature lovers, this is fantastic. The dog parks are great. I mean, you see a little doggy right there. Another cool thing is, so Danbury, it is very family friendly, and it has a strong school system with plenty of activities for the kids. Now, the public schools in Danbury do offer a lot of diversity and educational opportunities. And, there's a lot of private school options as well. So some people, depending on what you think is best for you and your kids. Now, for commuters, Danbury is definitely a convenient location because it's, again, like I mentioned before, it's close to the New York border. So if you work in New York and you want to live in Connecticut, Danbury is definitely a manageable option. It also has the train station here, the Metro North. So it does take a little bit longer to get to the city. It's probably going to take you like an hour and maybe an hour and a half to go to New York City. But you could also just jump onto the 84 and then just drive all the way down. One thing you won't run out of in Connecticut is community events. There's always something going on, like the Danbury City Fair in the summer, holiday parades, and a Taste of Greater Danbury, which is an annual food festival where local restaurants set up booths in downtown. I went there last year, and I just had a complete blast. The food was incredible. The live music was so much fun, and you could just feel a lot of energy in the air. These types of events do bring the community together, and so very diverse, again, as I mentioned. Now, I want to see if I could show you the different types of homes. So if you go around King Street, actually you're gonna get a good example of what type of homes you'll find here. So you see a lot of ranch style homes or colonial homes. That's what you see over here. And you see a lot of open space here. Now, so Danbury, and on the outskirts, outside the center, you're going to see properties with a lot of space. Again, all the properties vary, but let me just show you guys what you get. This area, people love this area over here because it's quiet, it's calm. I actually saw this property. This property needed tons of work, as you could see here. It needed a whole thing, but I know who sold the property, and I think now they fully gutted it and renovated it. Then you have gorgeous properties like this, tons of space all the way to the back. And again, you could probably get properties like this for like $700,000. So again, you get a lot of bang for your buck in this town. A lot of raised ranches as well. You could probably snatch one up for maybe less than $500,000, depending on the condition. And a lot of raised ranches for smaller families as well. And this is your typical sort of structure of the home, a colonial home. Very, very beautiful. Now, what's the catch with Danbury? Well, it's definitely a bigger town with a lot of things going on, and it could feel a little busier than some of the other quieter Fairfield County towns. You'll find a little tiny bit more of traffic going around, not enough to hold you down or keep you along, but that's just because there's a lot of moving people moving around in that area or crossing through. It's lively, has a lot of energy, and you're never short on things to do. So if you're looking for peace and quiet, Danbury might be a little bit too active. But if you're looking for never-ending amenities, mall right next to New York border, then this might be a great fit. What is the takeaway of Danbury? The town does offer a lot of everything: affordability, which is big for a lot of people, diversity, a strong sense of community, and plenty of things to do. Outdoor activities, downtown scene, food, theater, whatever, that has a lot to offer. And Danbury does have its own personality, where it's a place where you can live comfortably without sacrificing convenience. Now, if Danbury sounds like something that makes sense to you, come in and check it out. What I suggest you do is go in and check out some of those restaurants I pointed out. Drive through this area and get a feel for it. Go through downtown as well. But the biggest thing you could do here is go to Candlewood Lakes. You're just absolutely gonna fall in love with it. I mean, imagine being able to go to that beautiful lake, driving 5 minutes, being 5 minutes away from that lake, and just being able to enjoy it with your family all the time. Now, for the big reveal, I am gonna break down the hidden gem, which is not that far from where we're at right now. It just so stick with me one last minute. Here is the kicker. Stay with me because I saved the best for last. And again, we're talking about something that's undervalued right now, hidden gem. So that's exactly what we're talking about. So it's the best kept town in secret. And I'm talking about a town that offers everything you want: charm, convenience, community, without the crowds and without the high price tags for now. So let me introduce to you guys Bethel, Connecticut. Now, Bethel might just be the place for you if you like a blend of small town charm and modern amenities. It's a place with such rich history, and but it's kept well with the times. Bethel has something very, very special. It's known, or is very famous for its downtown area. Its family-owned shops, its cozy cafes, and its historic movie theater that still shows films. So walking through downtown, you're gonna feel this incredible sense of community there. People stop to say hello. It's a welcoming vibe that's very hard to find these days. So let me just give you an idea of what the downtown looks like. Oh, and by the way, you find cool places like this, Sycamore Drive-In, which is a fantastic landmark joint. It's a 1950s diner. Check this out. Such a cool thing. So you actually get to experience that 1950s diner experience. You park your car here, you get served. It's very, very cool. And there's a lot of times when car enthusiasts go over there with their antiques restored cars. So they're always meeting here, or it just happens almost every other weekend. It's just a fantastic sight to see such beautiful cars parked all throughout here. And let me give you a little tour right here. So this is the downtown area, by the way. The historic theater is right here, which is funny. Yeah, so the funny thing is, there was a couple from Brooklyn during COVID that bought it and really, really put a modern twist to it. So they have drinks there, they have food there. It's such a cool experience. It's a very historic landmark. Now we're like towards the end right now of downtown. It has very beautiful Victorian style homes. Let me show you right here. This is one of my favorite ones. It actually looks much better. It was slightly restored now, but you could probably get a little feel of the Victorian vibes here. Look at this blue one. Gorgeous, gorgeous home. All Victorian era homes. Very gorgeous. And you're going to get that feel throughout downtown as well. Let me show you guys a little bit more before I get to the good stuff here. Look, this is one of my favorite ones right here. This yellow Victorian home. Check that out. Gorgeous. And then one of the cool things, again, I know I mentioned it a few times. I'm a big coffee drinker, and Bethel has the best coffee spots in my personal opinion. So once you cross all this area, which it has stores. You know, look, it has all these different types of stores, boutiques. This is where is it? I'm gonna give you guys two coffee shops that are just phenomenal. That you should, if you come and want to check out Bethel, you got to check out this coffee shops. This, look how beautiful this coffee shop is. This is Molten Java, and very, very unique and quirky coffee. It's very, very cool. So check that one out. This is, by the way, the cute downtown. It has tons of shops. Very safe, very family friendly. And then when you go, actually, you got to go in a little deeper here. I'm going to show you my top favorite coffee shop of, I mean, dare I say, of all time. Where is it? So it's right over. Oh, this is cool. I actually never. I didn't think I was gonna. Oh, this is funny. So this is actually a new coffee shop called Cafe Duo, and it's right here. I mean, it's not showing me here, but let me show you guys how gorgeous it is. Look at the beautiful vibe. So it's Latin, Colombian, and Guatemalan, true imported coffee with the best pastries you could think of. Gorgeous. It's one of the best coffee shops ever. And I've been in coffee shops around the world: Europe, Latin America, South America, New York City. And I'm telling you, it's one of my best favorite ones. So I'm super happy that something like that came to Connecticut. Now let's talk about the housing in Bethel, because obviously this is one of the major perks. Compared to some of the other neighborhoods or towns we saw, Bethel offers great value. The medium house price here is $450,000 to $500,000. And you're going to find a wide range of options, from historic homes with a lot of character to newer builds with modern amenities. Plus, if you're getting much more bang for your buck in Bethel, because you get larger lots, peaceful neighborhoods, and that classic New England charm. For people looking to settle into a community without having to stretch the budget, Bethel is definitely a fantastic choice. Now, if you're commuting to New York City, well, before we do that, let me just show you guys a little bit of what the house looks like here. Now, this is, where are we? Milwaukee Avenue. Let's go to, let me show you guys on the higher end, around $800,000 range. Let me show you guys what you could potentially get. I want you guys to have an idea of how oh wow, that's funny. Look at that. Can't get in here. That's interesting. But all right, we'll try another street. Interesting. Okay, let's try over here maybe. So you are going to see a lot of wooded areas in Bethel, Connecticut. You are going to see a lot of different styles of homes here as well. Again, everything from like very well-kept homes, newer homes, to like very historic homes. Let me see if maybe we could go here. Let's see. Wolf Pits. Let's see what we got here. And I'm going a little bit deeper, where you could actually get a little big lots. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, well, let's just go to Putnam Park Road and see what we got here. Okay, this is good. So check this home out over here. Bear with me. There's a lot of trees here. This is one of a busy road, but I just want to show you guys what you could get. So, all right. So this is a home that you could probably get for around $500,000. It has a big lot. It's a colonial style house. Look at this big lot. Gorgeous. Now, if you were looking for privacy, let me see here. This is a newer build. I think it closed at around $700,000. It has a nice back space here. It has a nice, everything just looks nice. And now, which is funny because that's a new build, but then this is an older barn. Look at this classic colonial. This one's early 1900s home. So you get a lot of different things here. It depends on what you're looking for. And then the cool thing is some homes are very deep. Look how deep this one goes. But anyways, one of the things that really makes Bethel special is the sense of community. There's a lot of festivals that happen in downtown every year, every season. Even during Thanksgiving, there's a turkey run, a 5K run. So it's very, very cool. It's a perfect balance of like living in a peaceful town, but also being able to have access to a city. There's a train station there as well. It's a charming spot where, with a cafe. Actually, let me show you guys some restaurants. Areas where the restaurants are at. Where are we? What's the name of the place? Hold up. Yeah. So you have places like, yeah, this is actually a good place too. To give you a vibe of what it looks like. So you have this ice cream shops here. And this is what the downtown area looks like. You see all these shops here. And the cool thing is you have the train station right here. And you have like a cool restaurant right here, which is cool. This is the train station. And then you have a cool restaurant here. Broken Symmetry. Tons of reviews. People love this thing. But there's also a bunch of restaurants here. Like there's another restaurant here. There's another restaurant here. It's just a lot of places a lot of food to eat. So look, if you're looking for a town that offers a little bit of everything, a vibrant downtown, affordable housing, great schools, and a sense of community, Bethel is definitely a hidden gem. It's an up-and-comer, and people love that downtown area as well. So it's a fantastic choice. It's a hidden gem. It offers a lot of rich stories, community vibes, great living options. I just wanted to share that. The properties have been appreciating here, and it's going to, in my opinion, because of the way things have continuously been to develop, more cool restaurants. It feels almost like this is a far-fetched comparison, but it almost feels like Williamsburg, Brooklyn, but 15 years ago. That's what it feels like, where there's a lot of new cool ideas coming into it and just revolutionizing this area. So there you have it, guys. We've covered some amazing towns. Each one, again, has its own vibe. You guys, whoever stuck with me, it's been a long video, but I wanted to make sure I give you a whole view of all the different towns here. Connecticut, again, has a ton of variety, everything from coastal charm in Greenwich to the peaceful hidden gems in Bethel, and everything in between. And I hope this video gave you a little bit of sense of what special towns there are and what could potentially be good for you and your family. I hope this was helpful. If you found it helpful, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you comment below if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Now, if you're thinking about relocating to Connecticut, I'm here to help you. Me and my team are experts in helping you relocate, so don't hesitate. Shoot me a text message or give us a call at 203-665-8071. We would love to be part of that journey with you, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay in touch with the next videos. We're coming out with videos every single week. Till next time.